Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Today is one of the many master's thesis defense sessions that we do, and we have one of our master's students who is defending, Dr. Charlie Otero from Hospital Italiano in Buenos Aires, and Charlie, like a number of our trainees, has been funded by our grant from the NIH Fogarty International Center. That's a collaboration with Hospital Italiano in Buenos Aires, and if he succeeds today, he'll be the fourth person to complete the master's program. Like many, he's a physician who was previously working at Hospital Italiano, did the medical informatics residency there, and under the local mentorship of Dr. Paula Otero, no relation, and Fernan de Quiros, the head of the informatics program there. So I will turn it over to Charlie.
Thank you very much for coming. I want to believe that you are here for my presentation and not for the pizza. I want to share my study with you about improving granularity in the electronic health record problem list. But first of all, let me introduce the concept of problem-oriented health record. It was a documentation model created by Lawrence Witt by the end of the 60s, and it's a new concept in medical record that represents the clinical workflow and organize the data for other issues more than the clinical care, allowing billing, research, and all administrative process. This model associates clinical node with the health problem and also facilitates the association with the problem and a therapeutic plan. This model was created for a paper model documentation, but this structure facilitates the informatization issues. So, what is a problem list? There are a lot of definitions that what is a problem list. Every association related with health informatics have one definition. I mix all together there, and I want to share with you this definition that say that the list of problem is a list of all patients' diagnoses, single symptoms, unexplained findings, abnormal physical findings, and psychosocial and cultural issues. And they also take a note of the problem list is not static, it's a dynamic list of what happened with the patient, as must be updated and should have an appropriate level of detail. For us at Hospital Italiano de Buenos Aires, the problem list is any condition that generates a contact between the patient and the people in the healthcare team, but also any conduct, any action taken by the healthcare team related with this specific patient. So, why use a problem list? Why use a problem-oriented electronic health record? This model facilitates the longitudinal care, improve the quality of care. If you see some of the several reports that you can find in the literature, you can see that this model of documentation not only improve the quality, but also the communication into provider, and also is a good model for development and implementation for the clinical decision support system. Facilitate research and implementation of healthcare program, and also is useful for management and administrative tasks. If you take a point of more technical issues, this model facilitates the storage and organization of the information in the database, and also allow developers to create more easy visualization for the clinical data. So if we know that the problem list is a really good option for clinical documentation, why physicians don't use the problem list, or at least don't use in the way that we are thinking they should use? First, I will comment with you this article from White and his team. They say that one of the topics because physicians don't use the problem list is because this system don't respect the real workflow of the clinician. And also, there are a big lack in the policies about who is the owner on the problem list, and who has the responsibility to take care of the quality of this problem list. But also, physicians say that data in problem list is not relevant, and they find other alternatives to find more accurate and quality data when use electronic health records problem list. Another consideration because physicians don't use a problem list is about they don't really know how to use the problem list and which are the uses for this list. And also they say that they don't receive support and education about how to use and how to maintain the problem list. In some countries, like Argentina, the problem-oriented electronic health record is not a model that you used to learn in the medical school. So there are also some cultural considerations that maybe you come to a hospital using a problem list for documentation and you never seen this model in the School of Medicine. And also some problem lists are easy to use because they have not good presentation or good visualization. But one of the main considerations because physicians don't use the problem list is about the completeness and accuracy of the problem list. Only for take an idea what is the completeness of the problem list, another paper of Wright find that you can find omissions in the problem list that go from the 5%, if you are talking about kidney disease, from almost 80% if you are looking for information about breast cancer. And the granularity, the level of detail that collaborate with the good accuracy of the problem list is the level of detail that this problem list has. In this sense, AHIMA, American Health Information of Management Associations, says that detail the appropriate content of the problem list and define diagnosis when problems become more specific must be a responsibility of the physicians using the problem list. And give an example, for example, chronic COG could be updated to chronic disease pulmonary, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease when a diagnosis is made. So in this context, granularity is one of the main features to improve the accuracy of the problem list. And several organizations like H-Level 7, Joint Commission for Hospital Accreditations, AHIMA, and some national programs here in the United States, like Meaningful Use, recommend that the list must be updated and must contain the appropriate level of detail. But is this level of detail important for all the people in the healthcare team? We can think this consideration about patient versus population. If you think in a particular and a specific patient, maybe you need more detailed information. You, as a physician, need to take decision for a specific patient, and more detail could be more beneficial for this patient. If you're thinking maybe in population and you are taking public health decisions, maybe more aggregate data could be more useful if you are thinking to take some decisions. One of the biggest considerations is that if you have detailed information, you can go to an aggregate information. But if you decide to only store aggregate information, you lose the chance to go back and obtain detailed information. So it's important to take an idea what is the use of this information and to take advantage of, for example, terminology service to go from detailed information to aggregate information. But always take in account that if you don't store the information in the appropriate detailed way, you can obtain this detail then. So in summary, maybe it's more useful for patients and physicians' consideration to have a more detailed problem list than for public health considerations. But why, and at Hospital Italiano, are we so worried about the quality of the problem list? Because we have our own electronic health record, that is a problem-oriented electronic health record, and every process in our hospital is related to a health problem. Every clinical note, every drug's prescription, every complementary study must be associated with the problem health. And also, these problem lists are used for other processes into the institution, like administrative tasks, research process, clinical decision support development, and healthcare programs. Only to give you an idea how important is for us a problem list, we have in our system about 9 million problems created in the history of our electronic health record. Only the last year, 1.2 million of problems were created, and the mean of the problem per patient in our system is 6 problems. If you take a look where physicians create these problems, the ambulatory setting, the outpatient settings create more than the half that these problems in our system. So for us, an accurate problem list with an adequate level of detail allow us to optimize the clinical care, the research process, and the administrative tasks, and improve, by the end, the quality of care of our patients. The objective of my project was to measure the level of detail in the problem list, testing clinical case in 2 different interfaces. And for that, the design of the study was test the granularity, the level of detail, using clinical vignette, clinical case that guide the user to select a problem. The study was performed at Hospital Italiano de Buenos Aires in Argentina. It's real an academic center, but it's real not a hospital. It's a network with 2 hospitals, more than 20 ambulatory clinics, 750 beds, and 2.8 million outpatient visits per year. We have about 50,000 discharges in a year, and also we have a health insurance, and we are in charge of 150,000 patients. This is our electronic health record problem list. And in our electronic health record problem list, the physician input in free text the health problem that he or she want to input in the problem list. We have a terminology server that analyze this term and evaluate if that term is valid or not valid. If this term is not valid, for example, physician write prescription, that is not really a health problem, the system asks for a new problem. But if the term is valid, the terminology server offers the best match with the term that the physician input, but also gives some options that the physicians can put choice to elevate the level of detail of the problem list. Then the physician's choice go to the problem list. This study was performed with 20 physicians that they were randomly selected. The inclusion criteria was physicians that could be staff or trainees with a minimum of 6 months of use of our electronic health record, and we exclude physicians working in our department or related with the development of the study. And this study was approved by the IRB at Hospital Italiano and here in OHSU. 3 clinical cases we are select, 1 related to osteomyelitis, 1 related to pneumonia, and the last with shoulder pain. Each clinical case was reviewed in detail for a team of physicians, and the maximum level of detail for this case was identified and for the data analysis. And the text of each case was given in printed card to each subject participating in the study. For the study, as I told you before, 2 documentation strategies were used. One is our current EVAS electronic health record, which provides the actual interface problem entry into the problem list, and a new prototype interface with new options available for use. You can see here again our electronic health record problem list, and this is the window that physicians use when are trying to input the problem list. You can see in the number 1 the field to write the problem and search, the preferred term in number 2, the options in number 3, and you can see also view the last selection in number 4 and the continuous button in number 5. The new prototype interface is quite similar. The only things that is different is that there are a different organization of the data. You have the field for search, the preferred term in number 2, option in number 3, but you also have another consideration for the options. In this case, a physician is looking for pneumonia, and you have a number 5 pneumonia classification for the Argentinian Pneumonologists Association. But also, it's important to note that in this interface, you have in number 6 other options or attributes that you can add to the problem when you are creating the problem list, trying to get more specific and trying to get more detail to the problem list. Then you can see in number 7 how the term will be created, and then you have also a definition of the problem list. You can say that this is used by physicians, so they should know the definition of the problem that they was creating. But believe me that when we are trying to input more specific information, for example, the stage of the hypertension, maybe they don't know what is the level to change one stage to other stage. So we decide to put some information in the definition to give them some facility to decide if hypertension level 1, hypertension level 2. And then you have in the number 9, a button to continue the process. For this study, granularity was defined based on sensitivity of documentation compared with what was defined for each case presented to the subject. And sensitivity was the level of detail identified for this subject in this case, divided by the total number of detail declared for this clinical case. This is an idea on how physicians see the clinical case. They were exposed with 3 clinical cases and were asked to document pertinent problem using each of 2 strategies. And this resulted in 6 case strategy per subject. Data was captured in paper, translated to English, and analyzed. And these are the 3 cases. This one is about osteomyelitis. It's a 41-year-old male patient with hypertension and diabetes that is hospitalized for right calcaneal osteomyelitis refractory to therapy with piperacillin tazobactam. You can see here 5 levels of details. The second case is about a patient with pneumonia. It's a patient that was admitted at the hospital with diagnosis of acute community pneumonia in base of the right lung. And this case also have 5 levels of detail. And this is the number 3 case. It's a 35 years old that came to the clinic with acute stabbing type pain in right shoulder. And this case also have 5 levels of detail. You can see here, for example, pain is the clinical finding, acute, that is a course, stabbing, that is other attributes, in this case, type of pain, shoulder, that is the finding site, and right, that is the laterality. 20 tests were performed in April 2014. 20 physicians participate in this study and give me almost 1 hour of their time for me to participate in the study. And believe me, that is not easy to obtain almost an hour of each physician for play with the system. The mean age for participants was 39 years old. 55% were women. Specialty, internal medicine, 45%, and family physician, 55%. And the role was 60% staff and 40% trainees. These are the results for the first clinical case of osteomyelitis. There is the analysis of information. Each line is a participant in the study, and each column is a level of detail. And you have 2 big groups, one for interface 1 and one for interface 2. In this case, sensitivity in general was 56% with a range for 40 to 60. And if you take into account each interface separately, 53% for interface 1 and 59% for interface 2. And no statistical difference was found. But if you take into account a specific of the level of detail, you can find that the clinical finding and the finding site was selected in all the cases. All the participants select this kind of information. But if you take account of the laterality, you can see that in the interface 2, about 95% select the laterality as an important consideration when they are creating a problem, but only 65% in interface 1 select that the laterality of the disease was important for document. But here there is an interesting consideration that nobody believed that the condition that the refractory to therapy and the antibiotic use in this patient, but also the refractory treatment, nobody chose that it could be an important consideration to put into the problem list. In the clinical case too, the visualization is the same. You have each participant in a line and each level of detail in a column. Sensitivity was 60.5% with a range to 40 to 100. 57% if you consider interface 1, and 64% if you consider interface 2. And in this clinical case related to pneumonia, most of the physicians document the clinical finding, the pneumonia, and the course of the disease, in this case, acute. Only few consider another attribute for this problem, that is the type of pneumonia, community pneumonia, and only a few put information when they are creating a problem list about the finding site and the laterality of the problem. If you take account the new case, clinical case 3, is a shoulder pain. Sensitivity was 63.5% with a 59% for interface 1 and 68% for interface 2. Again, no statistical difference between the two interfaces. And if you take account of the details that physicians select, all the physicians choose that the clinical finding, that is pain, and the finding site, that is shoulder, is important to put into the problem, in the problem list. Some of them believe that the laterality of the pain was important, and only a few consider that the course of the disease, in this case acute, and the type of pain, in this case stabbing, were important to the problem in the problem list. If you take all the three cases as a whole, you can find that sensitivity was almost 60%, with a range for 47 to 80%, and 56% for interface 2, and 64% for interface 2. And no statistical difference between the two interfaces were found. In general, you can see how this part is the consideration for each attribute in the problem when you're creating a problem list. For example, for the course, it goes to 55 to 50%. Finding site is one of the best attributes to add in the problem list. It goes to almost 80% to almost 75%. But you can see like other attributes, for example, in this case, the type of pain, of the type of the pneumonia, was chosen only in the 25% of the times in interface 1 and only in the 30% of the times in interface 2. Also, I take note of all the comments that physicians say to me when they are working with this test. And I think they are important comments to share with you. So I dedicate a slide for these comments. They say that the problem list is a guide. The list is not updated frequently. Therefore, information such evolution of the disease become obsolete and is not okay to put into the problem list. Too much detail often create the duplication of the problem list, since the system is not mature enough to recognize them as the same problem and showing the problem. Another physician said that I understand that the list of problems is useful for managing program for chronic disease. So he considered that grouping the information would facilitate the work of many, and because of this, they think that it's not correct to put more detail in the problem list. And another physician says that the problem list should serve to have a quick idea of the patient. So you have to put details in the clinical notes and not in the problem list. In this consideration, some topics emerge for this context. The first is the big problem ownership. Even my study was performed with internal medicine and family physicians that in our hospital are in charge of the patient. They always talk about the problem list as the responsibility of others. So they say the problem list is not updated, but they never refer to themselves like we don't maintain the problem list, we don't put the correct level of detail. Policies that about the problem list, that we have our own policies in our hospital, are not known for most of the physicians. They don't know who the policies say about how to work with the problem list. And for the people participating in my study, the utility of the problem list is not clear. Another consideration is that maintenance is a big challenge that at least is considered by all the people participating in my test. They recognize that the update of the problem list is a big challenge, but they don't do nothing. And taking account of my specific working with granularity as a level of detail, they don't have clear what level of detail is needed, and also why more detail could be useful. In this sense, the key problem is what level of granularity is actually required for the problem list. This will be depend on the use that you declare for your problem list, for your electronic health record problem list, and could be different if you focus your documentation process in clinical care, in decision support development, and you also use this problem list for documentation and billing process. And also has to do with where providers will agree to spend extra time to reach to the best granularity as possible. And another consideration is if really physicians know which level of detail they really need. And in this sense, it's interesting to know, I work in the Health Information Department at Hospital Italiano, so I work in all the process, from the creation of the information to the require of the information for the physician. And we have a case that some physician ask us for, please give me all the right hip fracture, and I say, I can't give you right hip fracture because you never put the laterality in the fracture. So they say that maybe laterality could be no useful to create the problem, and then when considering make some research, they ask you for this kind of detail. So maybe this is what I trying to say, what they really don't know what level of detail they need. Other consideration is that several studies show advance in capture problems to complete the problem list, but there are not evidence in what level of detail are adequate. If you take a quickly review in the information, you can find a lot of clinical decision support systems that with data mining or another techniques look for information in the free text and create or offer the creation of the problem, but never talk about what is the level of detail that is the best consideration for the creation in this problem. And the hospitals must be clear how they think to address this problem, and the policies about this must be published and agree with the users. About the policies, when policies exist, they are deficient. And one of the examples is my own hospital. We have our own policies that say what physicians should do when with the problem list, but you have the example of the ownership and the maintenance responsibilities that are not clear, even when we say family physicians are responsible for the maintenance of the problem list. Granularity, as you can see, as I try to show you, is a complex issue. You can say that laterality is one of the topics that must be in all the problems, because you have problems where laterality have a different significance than in other problems. The same with funding side. You can say funding side is mandatory when you are talking about pain, for example, but maybe it's not so important if you are talking about pneumonia. Suppose that could be in the lung, then you can make some difference in what part of the lung is the pneumonia. And also, it's difficult to standardize how to measure this level of detail. So you can say, you can make some type of experiments, studies like that, and you can play with level of detail, with the sensitivity on some considerations. But if somebody asks to you, what is the level of detail that you have in your system? Say, I don't know. I have no a good way to say to you what is the level of detail of my system, because I lost the chance to have the gold standard, that is the physician with the patient in the same moment. Also, user experience are disparate. There are some physicians that use the problem list a lot, and there are other physicians that never use the problem list. And in the group that use the problem list, you have fanatic physicians that document with the extreme level of detail each consideration of the patient, and you have ones that use correctly the problem list but put only general problems. So this is other consideration to take account. In this sense, interface could not be the solution. When I beginning with this work, because of that, the name of the work, Improving Granularity in the Problem List, we as a Department of Health Informatics are quite sure that if we put all our energy in develop new interface, maybe the level of detail of our problem list could improve. Now, with this study, we have a trend to find that maybe the interface has not such impact in the level of detail that we are looking for. And you always must take account that is only one and maybe little thing in the quality of documentation problem in health institutions. So you must think globally. You can't focus in the problem list if you have physicians that never write anything in your system. But so when you are thinking considerations to address these problems, you also must think in how this will be include in a more general problem to improve granularity. About the limitation in my studies, even find 20 physicians that give you for free almost 1 hour was difficult. This study was performed only with 20 physicians, so it's a small number to have a general idea. But we can find some trends considering these users. The setting was performed, the study was performed at Hospital Italiano. So Hospital Italiano is a particular institution in Argentina, totally different than what happened with the other institution in Argentina. And our hospital received most of their physicians from the School of Medicine. So we educate our own physicians. So the only document model that they know is the problem-oriented electronic health record. But when you receive a physician from another institution that used to document in a traditional chronological way, you can find that maybe the results could be worse. The problem list is not used in the same way in all the places. In our institution, the problem list is the axis of our system. So you have all our process related to the problem list. But you can find other institutions here, like use the problem list only to agree with the meaningful use process. So it's not important to have more detail or more consideration about the problem list. And as I told you before, it's really difficult how find a standard to measure the level of detail of each problem. what is the good things for this study for us at Hospital Italiano? The problem list is the axis of our health information system. So the quality of the problem list is really important for us. The policies in our hospital says that the problem list must have the maximum granularity as possible. In this context, we know now that physicians do not know our policies. Many doctors have not clear which is utility of the problem list. We have one that even can't find which is utility to document, but then we are looking for they to have an idea which is important to the problem list. There is a large scatter in terms of the way that problem list is used, even in our hospital, and the development of new interface that where we put all our energy might not be enough to solve this problem. So more studies involving users could be beneficial for us to address these problems. In the conclusion, the key problem is what level of granularity is actually need. And this will be depend in the policies, in the rules that you define for your institution. There is a wide dispersion in the way that each health problem is detailed. It's not the same for a problem, so you can find a regular standardized model to say how to aggregate detail to each problem. And this study is an approximation of some trends in these considerations. But education, policies, and information technology should address this topic in order to find an equilibrium between what hospital, what institution need, and what users are agree to do. So I want to say really thanks to my committee that support me and give me all their help to finish my project here. All the people here in the MICE department, my partner, the fellows who works with me, that make me the staying here really good, and all the people in the administrative process here in the MICE that make me feel me as in home. My people at Hospital Italiano Buenos Aires that believe in me and sent me 2 years, almost 2 years here, and did my work for me in Buenos Aires. I really thank them to support me. And my wife, my crazy wife, who leave everything in Buenos Aires and follow me in this crazy adventure. So, gracias. Thank you very much.
So let me remind everyone that because this is a thesis defense, we'll have public questions, and then we'll leave you to your committee. As I'm listening to the discussion, it's your study was good, and it raises a lot of it gets you thinking a lot about problem lists. One of the classic rules certainly for computer users is if people see no value for what they're doing, then they probably won't do it. And I know, we talk a lot about the problem list in medicine, but in reality, at least from what I've seen, very few healthcare organizations actually use what's in the problem list other than to look at it. And so, maybe part of the reason why physicians and other clinicians are not willing to put time into it is because they just don't see the problem list being used for anything. Whereas, if there's other situations where they know if they enter some data that it may accumulate and that can use it. Do you, at your hospital, or really are you aware anywhere else of people who really do much with the problem list, or is it really mostly just something that we look at?
Yeah. For us, it's a particular consideration because we use the problem list for all the process in our hospital. And depending on the value of the problem list, we have a specific example that is traumatologists. They used to be the worst in documentation process, but when they find the chance to know that when we ask for information for research process, if they document, for example, the laterality, only the laterality of the process of the hip, of the femur fracture, they obtain better quality processing and facilitate the research process. They became in the best creators of problem in our system. So I agree with you with, when if you show the value of have a real complete problem list, maybe it could be easy to convince the people to work in this consideration. In another situation, we have people who have problem lists only as a requirement of some program and only use the problem list to agree with this program and don't use for any other thing that agree with the program. Yes, Joe?
Oh, first of all, I think it's a really interesting topic, Charlie.
Thank you.
It's fascinating. And a real brief comment, and that is where I work, we do team-based care, and we have to use the problem list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to read all the notes.
Yeah.
So the problem list is my first thing. But I've got a question. How much do you think the consistency between your two interfaces was a result of a recall bias? In other words, I did something, I filled it out, and I remembered what I filled out before, and so I'm going to fill out exactly the same thing the next time I do it. And how much is it that the interfaces are so common?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Depend on a specific consideration. This was a study in a protected time, but if you are working with physicians in real time, depend on how much patient they are waiting for them, and maybe they have the chance to put information, but they have a lot of patient waiting, so they document in another way if they have all the time to document. So maybe consistency could be not good if you move this study to the real world.
For your study, did you reverse the order sometimes? In other words, sometimes interface 1, interface 2, and then sometimes...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the answer
I'm sorry, I can understand. The process is case 1, interface 1, case 2, interface 1, case T, interface 1, and then it rotates the consideration. So never is one-on-one. Yeah?
So the results must have been a little disappointing for you because you put a big effort into trying to improve the interface,
Yeah.
right? Is there any hope that the interface can be improved? First of all, what would you do next? And second, the subjects must have said some things about the difference between the interfaces.
Yeah.
Even though statistically it didn't look like there was a difference, what did they tell you?
Yeah. I think it's disappointing in my first objective, but it's a good result. But now we know where to put our energy. So we think only changing the interface we can change the physician's consideration. In this sense, now we are working to work with physicians, trying to explain which is important, and we are working in all our hospitals, but specific in these points, to create a friendly policies, visualizations that give the physician the idea and what hospitals are expecting of them when working with their interface. So we changed the focus put on the interface to working with the physician and hear more than what are they needed. And in the second consideration, one of the things that the new interface was, I received good comments about the second interface, is the way that they can see. We have a lot of trainees, so they can see what the National Association says when they are creating this problem. So if you have the National Association classifications, the definition, and you also can add quickly other details like you have in the right menu of the problem, they can create a more accurate problem, and this facilitates all the research process. Because some of the times they have some information in the database that they must modify to agree the national classification process. So they find they value with the good comments, the definition with the organization for the national associations that is in one of the, I can show you quickly. Let me see. I'm sorry. There. We put all our energy in this field, but physicians really like only this, because these are the national classification, and they could choose and feel good that they are documented in a good way. Yeah.
The granularity of ICD-10 has been kind of turned into a joke, really.
Yeah.
I notice you're not using SNOMED CT, but you did
Yeah.
mention it. Are there nomenclatures that lend themselves better to problem lists than others, in your opinion?
Yes. If you're going to the maximum granularity, ICD-10 is not the one option. So SNOMED CT is one of the options. In this sense, this new interface, we control all our problem with SNOMED CT. So we don't give SNOMED CT directly to physicians. Physicians write the problem that they want, and in the backend, a system goes through SNOMED CT. If the system finds a match, that is called a mapping, offer this term in Spanish, in Argentinian Spanish, in Hospital Italiano Spanish, that is the preferred term for the hospital, and code this term with a SNOMED CT. But if the term is not a mapping, it's not exactly matched with a SNOMED CT, even so the physician can choose this term, and in the backend, a team of coders create with a post-coordinated term in this sense. The generation of mapping and post-coordination process give us the chance to create these options. So every time that we receive a term in the last 10 years of code process, we know which attribute could go with this problem in our problem list. So we know that, for example, for pneumonia, it could be good attribute for this problem, because other physicians sometimes use this kind of detail in our system.
Charlie, I have one of the quotes that you put up said something from a doctor that problem lists should be broad, and if I want the details, I go to the clinical notes.
Yeah.
And I want to get to this issue of sort of problem lists versus the clinical note. The longer I've used EHRs, the longer I think that clinical notes are kind of a relic of paper. Because encounters are in individual days and they come on sheets of paper. And I've been thinking more and more that I've been thinking more of my patients as problem lists. In other words, a continuously evolving list of problems that I change based on that. That seems like it lends itself well to what you're really doing here. But when I see a quote like that, it makes me feel like doctors are not thinking in those terms, and they're thinking in terms of the way that we've always done things. And so I'm a little bit confused. Like, where is hospital? Because you mentioned things like that everything is done in the problem list.
Yeah.
And can you clarify exactly what's happening in the problem list? And are you really implementing a problem list-oriented medical record, or are you sort of doing the same thing that we've always done, but just with more details in the problem list and everything also in the clinical notes? And so,
no, we have a real problem-oriented electronic health record. So every time that you decide to document something in our electronic health record, you must choose what is there, or what are the problems that you relate with this action. Even if you are writing a note, even if you are prescribing drugs, prescribing some complementary study, you must choose what is the problem health that it was related to this action. All the actions in our system are related to a problem list. That doesn't mean that the quality of the document and the problem that it was associated is the best, but each of the physicians must choose one problem to each action that they want to take.
one minor clarification. So if it's not being documented in the problem list that the patient had right osteomyelitis refractory to whatever antibiotics, is it being documented nowhere in the chart then?
No. If you, the reason is that we are looking for more detail is that physician could put only osteomyelitis like a problem and then put all the other information in the clinical note. And we lost this information because we have no actually process to mining in text. Thank you.